Now. All right.
Ah,
Oh,
yeah,
all right,
woo,
Whoopi. All right.
nice.
Let me see here. How would I even start this? There's been a lot of confusion, and I'm just going to go out and say it, by a lot of weak men and weak pastors. It's my own personal belief that chapter and verse has destroyed the Bible. All right. If you sit there like a good Christian in church, and when they start rattling out all these things, write them down. When you get home, go through that chapter and those verses, and you will find out that just because this sounds like that doesn't mean they're talking about the same thing. I think that the churches nowadays, their number one priority is to stay in business. Now, how do you stay in business? Well, you've got to scare your parishioners. We have the correct message. No, no, we have a correct message. Well, are you even a Christian?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Now, the first place I am, it's making me really mad this political season because you have all these crazies out there talking about, oh, look at all these young women voting for Democrats. And, look, to begin with, Paul must have been a great man, truly was, okay? But I think he's sitting up there in heaven going,
Yes.
all right. Now, for those of you that don't know, somewhere around 300 AD, the Pope sent armies out to basically battle churches, take scriptures, take different books, bring them all back to Italy. All right. And then they put out there, don't, this is what you're going to teach. Now, be it right, be it wrong, doesn't really matter. But this political thing is the same thing. All right. We have made a huge mistake in our schools. But, all this talk about repealing the 19th Amendment. Jesus, if you're a woman, you would vote for anybody other than a Republican, okay? I mean, it's like I've told ministers this before. I'm like, you're not offering anything to women.
You. The funny
Right.
thing is, when my husband is on Twitter or X or whatever,
Yeah.
right? And every now and
I
then,
know the Twitters, both of them. Yep.
every now and then there will be a liberal woman spouting all kinds of weird stuff, and he will respond, ask yourself, who do you think she votes for?
Mhm.
Right? Okay. So when this guy say, I want to repeal the 19th Amendment and deny women the right to vote,
There it goes.
you ask yourself, what who do you think this guy votes for? Let me find out
Right.
so I can vote for the other guy. Okay.
Yeah, but anyway, yeah.
So
But yeah, like
I'm
Doug,
just saying,
and then you've got your Doug Wilson out there.
who
For me,
unashamedly say they want to get rid of the 19th Amendment.
oh yeah, Doug Wilson. He's kind of he's your epitome of a weak man. He beats his children. He orders his wife around. And he smokes a cigar and drinks whiskey because he thinks it makes him masculine. That's not what makes you masculine. But you have to understand one thing. Jesus said certain things, and chapter and verse denies this. They hardly ever tell you what Jesus says in church. It's always Paul. Now, I am quite sure Paul was a great man. I believe Jesus truly picked him to run the church. That's it, run the church. Now, everything you read from Paul, you have to understand Paul was having conversations with different people by letters. All right. So when you're reading Paul and Paul says something, all right, you have to understand that he's saying that in response to a certain church in a certain location. This was not meant for everybody. All right. And you don't have any of the letters he was responding to. So my quick formula on all of this is, what did Jesus actually say? Jesus, not Paul. And if there's a difference between what the two of them said, then aren't we Christians? You have to go with what Jesus said. And then you have to accept the fact that we're misunderstanding what Paul was saying because we're not privy to the other half of the conversation. If you're having a conversation with somebody and you take all of that out of it, the other person, whatever they said, you're going to get gibberish.
So, like, here's the other fun part that I didn't realize we had.
I looked it up. You know, Muslims at least let women vote
Go
more than
figure.
the Doug Wilsons of the world.
But watch, our English translations are very, very good. Okay. Now, if you get yourself what is called a study Bible, what it does is for chapter and verse, you'll have commentary on it. So, well, this means this means that, this connects to this connects to that, which are really helpful. Okay. But every commentary will have a little bit of a theological bend depending on who wrote this thing. So, evangelical, or if they want you to be this and that, whatever. You would think that if you pick up just the Bible, plain old, nothing else, Bible with the word of it, and that's it, there would be no theological bent to it. You'll be wrong.
Yeah.
I figured that out too. There is a very big challenge here because there was a lot of mistranslations and adding of words that were not there in the original language. And so we have a problem, friends.
But you know, it's funny because my wife is probably, I had studied years ago, so I've probably forgot a lot. But I mean, my wife is very studied in the Bible. She's been studying for years. And it's funnier than heck. She'll be online and talking to someone. And when the fella starts losing the argument, he'll instantly fall back on Paul's nonsense about women should be quiet, women can't have authority, or they'll just get downright gay and say, go fix me a sandwich, or whoa, bake me a pie, right? I mean, how weak are you? All right. I mean, to begin with, if you're losing the argument, you should just be a man and say, well, you have a point. Let me look into it. All right. But no, you always fall back on this nonsense. Okay. That's what makes you weak. Yeah. All right. I mean, look, I never had a problem getting my children to do what I told them to do. When children act up, you don't need to beat them. They want attention. Give them the attention. I have sons in their early 20s right now, and they do everything I tell them to do without a complaint. They do it quick, and they respect me. I can sit in the room and have honest conversations with my sons. I never had to beat them. Why is that? Because I paid attention to them. All right. Only a weak man resorts to whooping on a child. I've had pastors, oh, no, it's a correction thing. You don't do it at the time. You go home and then I'm like, you know, I'm an old man. I'm 65 years old. I ain't never seen anybody whoop on a child unless they were mad.
People love to tell you, well, you know, the Bible tells me I'm supposed to beat my children. Here's the fun part about that. Quote me an example of the Bible where anybody shows anybody disciplining a child at all.
Go back to where it says, what did Jesus say? He who hurts these children hurts me. Of course, that's paraphrasing.
Yeah, but the only time you see really, truly someone interacting with children was one, Mary, right? When Jesus ran away to the temple and they found him, did they spank him?
No.
Did they beat him with the rod? No. They just said, you know, we were really scared for you. One, obviously, they had. You're gonna tell me, well, they knew he was the Messiah or whatever. They didn't know all the extent of who Jesus was yet. No. Okay, that was one thing. The next time you see anybody interacting with children, really, is Jesus. Okay, and Jesus was like, people were yelling at kids, reviling kids and stuff like that. And what did he say? He picked up the kids and he said, see these little ones? Yeah.
Yep.
You better behave with them. So I'm just saying, here's the scary part to me. We're not decades of teaching and all that and what have you. But if we figure these things out, everybody else has, and they keeping you down and scaring you with hell and things like that
Right.
because it is convenient for them.
Correct.
Just like the doctors, there is no money on healthy people. There is no money on true Christians that believe the Bible. You know what I
Yes.
mean?
But it's funny, right? Because here, let me put it to you a different way. Why did Adam and Eve get kicked out of the Garden of Eden? Because they ate from the tree of knowledge? No, I can put forward a better thing. First of all, he blamed the woman that God gave him, so he's blaming God. I'm telling you that right now. So perhaps that's why they got kicked out of the garden.
And no personal responsibility.
None.
Adam didn't take responsibility for his action. Eve didn't take responsibility for his actions. They both got kicked out. Okay?
Let me tell you something. I've been to all kinds of different churches. And the Catholic Church, well, that's an exception. The Catholic Church is the Catholic Church. And they're still doing fairly well. But when you look, if you're a young man and by chance you're listening to this, if you want to find a woman, go to a Pentecostal church, go to one of those electric light churches, because that's where the girls are. And why would they be there? Because they're not told to shut up and make a sandwich there. I mean, when you look at the Presbyterian, the Baptist, the Methodist, you just go through the whole list. There's nothing there for young women. All right. Those churches are dying and they're going to the other churches.
Yeah.
You want a godly woman? That's where you young fellas need to go.
All this, I tell you what, this might be the end of Protestantism. I realized this the other day. There is a lot of male misogyny going on in the church, in the Protestant churches. Not all the churches, Protestant churches. So what's going to happen now, what I've heard and I've seen, a lot of the people that have kind of like the experiences that we've had, they're just going to mainline. You don't have to agree 100% with their theology.
You don't.
But like I have a bunch of people that have gone to either the Orthodox Anglican churches, or I have seen people that gone back to the Catholic churches, because at least you get a certain sense of union and leadership in that church, because the Protestant churches are literally imploding in on themselves. And so,
yeah.
I mean, but at least I tell you what, at least the Pentecostals are happy to be there.
They're happy to be there, yeah. And like you go to the Assembly of God churches, they're happy to be there. These churches are packed. There's young women, young men in there, a lot of young women actually, and they're all looking for men. All right, but yeah, you go to these churches and you can tell when you're talking to these people, and I'm gonna cuss. All right. You get these tight ass men that get on there and think they can. It's not bad enough that they bully their own wives. They try to bully women online that they don't even know. It's like, dude.
Can I be honest? After long research about Paul, right? We have been misunderstanding.
I think we misunderstand a lot of what Paul said.
And all of that. Here's what I think. I think that the Paul's letters and those 3-4 passages about women are the litmus test to a true Christian, a true Christian man. If you're a true Christian man, you read those passages and you really sit there with them and go like, I don't know why this is here. I don't understand it, but I believe Jesus thinks that we're all equal. We're all the same, men and women. We can all do the same things. And so I'm just going to wait until God shows me the truth here.
Who did Jesus preach to? He preached to men and women. All right. He just didn't go to the temple and preach to men. No, he preached to both.
And so what that does for you is, again, it's a litmus test. And if you're a man of the wrong quality of men, unchristian-like. You read those passages in the Bible and you're like, that's right. Women need to shut the heck up. And that makes you unchristian because Jesus said we need to
Jesus
be
gave us an equal partner.
Yeah,
Or
and
God gave us an equal partner. We both had different jobs, but we're equal. And we make one whole.
And what Jesus was words were literally, if you want to be in the kingdom of heaven, you have to be a servant of others. And you cannot
If
be
these
in
churches
leadership,
are not.
and these are not. And I mean, think about it. Jesus washed the feet of the disciples, of the apostles. He modeled for us what a true leader is a servant of everybody else that he wants to lead. And so you
Yeah.
take that for whatever it's worth.
But yeah, no, it's just like with this political thing, you know, it's like it's crazy because it's like this Doug Wilson, right? I mean, I do believe that he is right in one aspect. We definitely need a third political party because the two we have are so corrupt that it's not even funny. And I'm just going to come out and say it. If you see a difference between Republican and Democrat, there's something wrong with you. It's not true. They're not. They're both baby killers. All right. They both spend more money than we want them to spend. I mean, this is ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, each one of them tells half truths and lies. There's no difference. We need a third party. What we need is cooperation going on here. These people are like crooks up there. But then again, I mean, you know, you're going to a church, you're putting money in the bin every week. All right. And are they helping anyone like we're commanded to? Are they ever going? I'll tell you, almost every church I've ever been to, you walk in, they lock the door. Right? Yeah. If you're in this room, you can be saved. And if you're not in this room, we don't want you in this room. And we are sure not going to try to save you.
Yeah, no kidding.
Unless you're looking at the AG churches, those Assembly of Gods. And, you know, the only people that have ever invited us to church are, well, I mean, Pentecostals, I guess they're AG, right? Are those people?
Yeah. The Pentecostals and the Assemblies of God.
Yeah.
Are the only ones that have
ever invited us.
An invitation to their churches. Everybody else,
yep,
not so much.
But anyway, like I'm saying, you know, I think that the churches have a lot of growing up to do, along with the, you know, the political structure. But yeah, it's like there is nothing. You got to understand, men and women are equal. And if you have a club of any kind where women are supposed to be subservient and they're not invited in, I mean, yeah, they can come in and clean and sit there and look pretty and be quiet and make sandwiches for when y'all decide to have a picnic. That's not an equal partnership. That is absolutely not what God said.
Nope.
But hey, you guys do you.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, there's this one guy on X. I think it's Ogden, Ohio. Is that what I say? Ogden. Utah. Or anyways, some sort of Senate, whatever race or whatever it is, or what did I say before the
mayor's race?
Mayor's race or something like that. Okay. The guy, one of the guys that was running for mayor, was part of his congregation. Okay. People got a wink that he was part of that congregation. Well, this one guy is right side of MAGA, they call him, you know, Christian nationalist. He's a hateful person online. Well, people realized who he was and who the guy was going to church with and who he was hanging out with. And they made possible. They made sure everybody knew about that. And what happened was real simple. People voted for the other person.
Yep.
He got beat by a Hispanic woman.
I mean, yeah.
I'm just saying, guys, look, it's not going to work.
I promise you, when me and my wife go out in public, people can look at us and they know we're Christians. Okay? I am almost embarrassed to say that I'm a Christian around younger people because these people have such a bad taste in their mouth because they've all grown up with arrogant parents beating on them, dragging them to churches that tell them women are not equal and you have to be here for 5 years before you can open the door. I mean, it's just this whole thing. Sometimes it's embarrassing. You're the wrong type of people to be calling yourselves Christian, in my humble opinion.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
the word Christian has been maligned
Oh,
and
what has
gone
it?
through the dirt so much. I'll tell you what, I'm Tim Mackey. If you know who he is, you know who he is. He never calls himself a Christian anymore. I hear him say he's a follower of Jesus Christ.
That's all I'm gonna have to say.
I'm a follower of Jesus
'Cause
Christ.
I don't want to be confused with you people.
That's right.
Yeah, really,
I don't
because
want to confuse
you know, you guys are like stuff I step on every once in a while in the parking lot. I'm just saying it.
Yeah.
Right?
That's
Anyway, go ahead. You can finish it up.
Just stop telling women you're going to take their vote away, because you will get the exact opposite result of what you want.
Yes.
Women do have the right to vote right now.
Yes.
And we might not be as aware of the implications of that, but we know that if you try to take it away, women will vote for whoever is not trying to take their vote
Yeah.
away, and you will get what you get. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, I mean, God bless everybody. And if you stumble across this video, I hope it helped you in some small way. Or if it irritated you, be nice and leave a comment and we'll discuss it.
Yep. All right. God bless. Bye-bye. And that's it.
Yeah, I mean, you know.